we should not be married right now.
That is a really bold statement, but it's actually really true. 27 years ago today, we received news from a really well established physician that told us that 80% of families going through a child living with a life-threatening illness would end in divorce. And that's where we're at. Our daughter, our baby girl, Mackenzie, had ALL, Acute Lymphoblastic Leukemia. And that was just one of the side effects that they said would happen to families.
Imagine that. You are facing one of the greatest challenges in your family. And a doctor comes out and tells you that your marriage will probably not survive. The chances of it not surviving are greater than it would be of it surviving. And we're hit with that shock when we were really just still newly married.
Yeah.
We were only married a few years. And it shook us to our core, but it was also the biggest blessing that we ever received in our marriage.
Truthfully, and I know that might land really awkwardly for some, but when I think about, we had to have the conversation early days, because I went home and I took what our oncologist said truthfully, and I went, okay, well, I only have so much energy, so I'm going to pour it all into our daughter getting better, and let's just get rid of this marriage thing that's already going to end, truthfully. So I went home and I packed Jim's bags, and I'm not proud of it. All of our kids know the whole story that it went through, but I was of the belief that this guy knew better. And I was then going to take the actions to prove it to be true. And a day hasn't gone by that I'm not grateful for you having a completely different thought and a different belief.
I believe the opposite. And I believe that our marriage needed to stay together in order for us to be strong enough to be able to get through and to support our daughter and our son at the time as well through this great struggle. Why worry about the marriage part of it? That I knew and I believed in my heart that we would be together. And 27 years later, we're here. And it's a crazy thought though, but at that time, when I knew and I believed that our marriage would last through anything, then I was able to focus on getting our daughter better and being able to focus on those things. And I didn't need to worry about the distraction that was going to be there of someone telling us, somebody outside of our relationship telling us. I would not believe that statistic. There was no way I was going to believe that statistic.
And it was just so fascinating, right? Because it was simply a number. And we adore the oncologist and have kept in contact with him over the years, because Mackenzie's such an amazing success story that we want to show him that, as are we a success story of that as well. That we didn't let societal's norm of this number make it mean that was going to prove it to be true for us. And there's just so many lessons in that in life, because we've carried on that thinking about when you went out as an entrepreneur, right? There was probably lots of data out there saying, oh, like 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 fail as an entrepreneur. And it's like, what do we choose to believe?
Yeah, so true, because you can find statistics, as we know, and you can find them to be towards whatever point you want to make them. When that stat came up that 80% of marriages with a life-threatening illness would end in divorce, I chose to believe the 20%. Same thing for failed businesses, right? I choose to believe that there is a positive number there, then that's where I and we will be. And from our relationship perspective, it has proven to be so rewarding. And I look now to recently having the birth of our 4th grandchild in the last 2 years. And the daughter that was diagnosed now has 2 children. And just to imagine the thought of 27 years ago and where we could have gone without having that strong belief in our marriage. It's scary to think about, but at the same time, just going, wow, that foundation has truly been a blessing for us. Yeah.
So our point for sharing this today for you, it was really on our hearts as we sort of opened our journals this morning and went, holy cow, July 25th. We know that day, that if you are going through something that you can't see past, you can't see 27 years ago or ahead, like we currently didn't. We could not have had no idea the blessings, the abundance that would come from that really scary time in our life. Ask yourself and your partner, What do we need to believe right now? And then do the work to get there. And if you're like us, grateful that one of them already had their root in the belief. And then I held on. I held on to your coattails going, okay, if you believe in us enough, I'm going to hold on to it. I'm totally going to hold on to it. And that's our invitation for you today is if there's something, a struggle, you don't know, you have no idea what's on the other side of that. But how you choose to believe in it this current day, that matters.
It truly does. Have the belief. Find that belief. Truly know that you will be able to get through it, and it will be so rewarding for you. So.
That's all we got. Have a great day.
Bye for now.